Hi, Carl. This is Pam, and I'm going to give you some more information about your course in addition to what I've already done. So I think we've talked about your homepage. I like your homepage in terms of your picture. I think it's very eye-catching, really good. You've got a Start Here module link, which is awesome. Just keep in mind the only thing that students don't do well is scroll. So your contact hours down at the bottom may be better for students if they were a little sooner on the page. Other than that, I think it's really a good homepage. I'm going to go to your modules, and I've already given you information about your Start Here, and I think your week 1 as well. So I'm going to start with week 2. And in looking at your week 2, I can tell just from the little icons that you've got pages, you've got a quiz, you've got some discussion boards, you've got an assignment, you've got both your bookends, your objectives, and your end of the week, which is really, really good. So I'm just going to run through the module real quick as if I were a student and see what happens. So we'll start with week 2 objectives. Give it a chance to load here, maybe. I'm in the mountains, so my internet's a little slow. All right, so you're telling them what they're going to be learning about. They've got the objectives for the week. It aligns to the course objectives, which is always good. You tell them what the assignments are, how many points they are, and when they're due. They could print this page to do a checkoff list if they'd like to. Awesome. So then they're going to click Next. And you tell them, you start right away letting them know about their small groups. Now, I know this is a hybrid course, so they've already met the people in their groups. And this is just a how to get your group set up in Canvas, which is good, a good tutorial for them. I love that you've inserted a video. That's always really helpful for students as well. It tells you the only thing that I'm not sure here is how are you going to tell if they got into their groups? Are you going to set up an assignment so that you can do a checkoff, or just how are you going to know if students got in groups? So that might be something you want to think about. So next, this is the part that really throws me a little bit. You're going to give them a lecture quiz, but I never saw the lecture. So I'm assuming the lecture is part of the hybrid class. What you may want to do is here in your directions, just let the student know that this lecture was from the face-to-face part of the class. Otherwise, they may be confused and think there is another lecture that they should have read online. They're not sure where it goes to. They may have missed something the day of the lecture. So how are they going to get the information they need in order to take the quiz? So my suggestion is, personally, I have all my lectures where I can post them online, even in my face-to-face classes, so students have access to them. But if you don't, at minimum, you probably in your directions need to let students know what lecture this quiz is testing. Okay, next. You're going to give them a slide presentation, but again, the directions are a little sparse. I'm not sure why I'm watching this presentation. Do I need it to do a lab? Am I going to get another quiz? Is this part of the group work that I'm doing? So I think really being explicit about what students are going to do. So I like to always think about, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? And then what am I going to do next? So and put all of that information in your direction. So students, even if you've told them face-to-face, they may not remember, maybe they missed that day. So it's very, very clear why they're watching these slides. Next, you move on to, looks like it's a discussion board, and I love that you have them go look at some sites. This is very useful to students when they can look at things that are related to the things that they're going to be discussing. So I always like it when you give them extra information here. Your directions look clear. They're going to be in 2 groups. You give them parameters. about what you want them to write. So that all looks really good to me. Okay, so next they're going to be watching the video, but again, I don't know why I'm watching the video. So it looks like maybe this is going to be a discussion, but you don't really say that to them. So maybe, oh, here we are down here. So yeah, I would again maybe make it clear up here that this is going to be something that they're going to watch, discuss, that kind of things. You do give them parameters, and always explain to them why they're doing it. So I'm going to watch the video and you want me to discuss it, but why do I need this? This is something for that we're going to do in lab that is mastery part of the class, or a scaffolding piece to something else. All right. VoiceThread, I love that you're doing non-traditional assignments. This is great. VoiceThreads are good. They're like discussion boards. Here you're going to, again, have them comment with each other. This is very similar to the discussion board I think that you just had, but it's a variety. So maybe you don't need both a discussion board and the VoiceThread, but maybe you do. Sometimes having them have different ways to express what they're thinking is good. Then they've got a midterm survey. So I think this is something that you just did for the CMOIT class, because it hasn't been, second week would not be your midterm. So you probably want to move that down to maybe week 9, something like that. And then you've got the backside of your bookends, which is great. I love that you're telling them what's coming up. This is really helpful to students. So, and second week's done. I love that you've copied that too. I think I did too. It's really a great little banner. So I think overall, Carl, you've really got a great start on your course. You're coming along in terms of making traditional, non-traditional assignments. I think that your assessments are good, quizzes and discussion boards, those are all really helpful as well. So if you have any questions, you can certainly get a hold of me through the office hour, or if you want to Zoom at a different time, I'm available for that too. So I hope this was helpful to you. Thanks.